have discovered something that may or may not be getting in the way of me getting Christmassy stuff done and reading done. Well, hello everybody and welcome back to today's Vlogmas video. I have honestly lost count, but I think we're on video number 5. Thank you so much for being here. I did get my nails done. Tried to pick like a festive color, but not too overtly festive. But anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be continuing my reread of Sorrow and Bliss, which has been such a blissful experience so far and not a sorrowful one. I'm just enjoying so much being reminded of why I loved this book the first time and why I consider it one of my favorite books of all time, even though I've only read it one time. But I'm realizing that rereads are so very important, especially for books that are near and dear to my heart. In this episode, I'm hoping to pop my Christmas cards in the mail finally, and otherwise, hopefully it'll be kind of a chilled out few days. I don't have any huge plans as of right now, but when the festive season strikes, it strikes. So who knows what is going to happen. So with that, welcome to today's Vlogmas video. So I have had quite a Christmassy day today. I went to not one, but 2 Christmas markets today. They were my favorite kind of Christmas markets, which are the like artsy vibes, the like single person vendors, not the big companies. And it just felt so wholesome and personalized. A couple of my favorite things that I saw were there was a lady who was like crocheting little cats, like little kind of like stuffed animal cats, which were very cute. And then there was another guy who was selling all of his tea blends for the holidays, and he made a lot of special blends for this type of the year. And it just felt like I've definitely had Christmassy experiences. Many of them I've showed with you on Vlogmas, but I felt that this kind of really embodied the magic of Christmas. And it was just so heartwarming. I did have a little cup of mulled wine as I was walking around the vendors and just enjoying the vibes. I did not buy anything, which I'm regretting a little bit now because I do have quite the list of things to buy for people for Christmas time, but I did feel like we were with a group and I didn't like have the time to like really feel things and like figure out what I wanted. So I think I'm going to think a little bit more, and I do still have time to buy Christmas presents for people. So I'm not going to get too stressed. I don't think I'm too behind, although it would be good if I got things moving a little bit on the gifts front. After that, I did go to the Barnes & Noble Cafe, which I don't like shopping too much at Barnes & Noble just because I like to support small independent bookstores if I'm able to. But I do love their cafe because it's open quite late into the night. And so I like to go there with my tablet and work on work stuff or booktube stuff and just like take in, like people watch and just enjoy the vibes. And it's specifically at this time of the year, it's really, I don't know, I feel like everybody in Barnes & Nobles is like shopping for Christmas presents or about like doing holiday shopping. And so I like just being around the hustle and bustle of happy holiday people. So I did that for a little bit, and I did plan out a few videos for what will end up being early this coming year in January. So that just felt like a nice kind of way to wind down the day. I also did read a bit more of Sorrow and Bliss, and I am now well over the halfway point. I'm on page 203. So I have a little over 100 pages left to go of this one. And I think that having reread this experience, like you like to think of the characters from your favorite book as probably better people than they were. I like that the main character, Martha, in here is a vessel to talk about a lot of mental health things and a lot about how mental health is treated. However, she is not often the nicest person or the easiest person to be around. In fact, in this book, it's kind of an interesting story because at the very beginning, you know that she's married to a man named Patrick. You don't know who Patrick is or how they got together. And then you flash back to when she's much younger and you start to like learn how they met each other. But at the beginning of the story, you know that what was seemingly an idyllic relationship with Patrick has gone very wrong. There is a little bit of violence in their relationship. They don't get along anymore, and it's kind of clear that Patrick is very over her, honestly, and they are separating and moving out. And so when you flash back and you figure out how they met in the first place, a lot of those scenes you see in a less idyllic light. You see where they're going. And I think that that's a really interesting way to form this book. This isn't a romance book, but there definitely is a central relationship to it. And the fact that you know how it's going to end up really kind of clouds how you see even the like very romantic, beautiful moments that they have together early in their relationship. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I don't remember how this ends up for them. And I'm of course not going to spoil it for you, but I am surprised by how many details I forget. And so I am kind of curious rediscover how things end up for these two characters. But I'm probably not going to be able to finish it tonight, but I am planning to read a little bit more on the couch before I head to sleep. But again, still really enjoying this. There was another description that was a little hard to read, but it was something that just felt I don't know if Meg Mason suffers from anxiety, but it felt like somebody who has been through anxiety and been through panic attacks. It's on page 178, and she says, "You are terrified. You're going to vomit. Your lungs are closing. The room is moving. Something bad is about to happen. It's already in the room. It's making your back cold. You wait and wait and wait, and then it doesn't happen. The thing has left the room, and it has left you behind. It isn't going to end. There isn't day and night. There isn't time. Only pain and the pressure and the terror that is like a twisted cord running down the center of your body." It's really hard to read those passages having suffered from anxiety and felt a lot of those things, but it feels so real and it feels like a very accurate representation of a lot of the things that you go through. And I think Meg Mason didn't specifically name the mental illness that Martha suffers from. She didn't name it as like depression or anxiety because she didn't want it to be about one thing in particular, but more about like how we suffer from mental illness, how we get help from mental illness, and how those that are around us are affected by it. Not just one particular mental illness, such as depression, anxiety, but more as a bucket. I'm going to read a bit more on the couch, and then I'm going to head to sleep. The cats are getting in a fight, which has been kind of the par for the course for today. So hopefully they make it out alive. Anyways, gonna read a bit more. So I have had the laziest day today. I have not gotten out of my PJs today. I have not put makeup on today. I did get out of the house a couple of times to grocery shop and get my flu shot. But otherwise, I've just been listening to Sabrina Carpenter's new-ish album and power cleaning my house, and also finishing Sorrow and Bliss. I just binge read the end of this on the couch this morning, and I just felt so happy when I finished this book because I felt validated that I loved it just as much as I remember loving it. You know, sometimes in this crazy world of reading so many books a year that we put so much pressure on ourselves as booktubers and as readers, you know, you're like, at the end of the day, you're like, do I even know what I like anymore? Do I really trust the rating that I gave that book? Do I really feel that way? And to revisit a book, to do my first reread, and to be like, maybe a lot of things have changed over the past year, but the fact that I dearly love this book hasn't changed, just felt so validating and filled me with so much joy. And I did not realize this, but there's a little bit of Christmas in this book. I did remember that there were a lot of recurring like Christmas Day scenes, but I didn't remember feeling like Christmas vibes from this book. Part of this book is that every Christmas they go to the main character Martha's aunt's house, and they all kind of congregate there and do Christmas there. And, you know, sometimes there's the family drama that we kind of expect, but sometimes there's, you know, joyful moments too. And that's kind of a recurring theme, a recurring bookmark to their lives. And I didn't remember just how prominent that was. And so the fact that I reread this book at the Christmas season and it felt so validating, and that this book takes place in part during Christmas, might just mean that this is going to be my first bookish tradition, that maybe rereading this book every year around Christmas time is going to be something that I'm going to do. I don't know. Do you guys have any bookish traditions that you do around this time of the year, whether they're overtly Christmassy or not really, books that you like to revisit at this time of the year? I would love to know. Do you consider this Christmassy if you read it? Probably not really a lot, but I don't know. There was a lot of like Love Actually, everything's falling apart, but you're there for me type of moments in this book that just felt the magic of Christmas. This vlog is probably going to be a little bit shorter than some of my other, Gilbert, don't drink my LaCroix, than some of my other VLOGMAS vlogs, but it feels right to close it here given that I have finished one of my books. In next vlog, I am hoping to start Charlotte's Web, probably complete Charlotte's Web as it is not super long. And I always say that that's my favorite book of all time. So will it live up to the hype? I haven't read it for 20 years, I don't know, 25 years, so many years. So we will see. But anyways, if you reach the end of this video, comment a cat emoji. And with that, I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.